Hey guys, this is Brave Sir Robin coming to you with a 1v1 battle from EB Online. This one features me playing as the Pahlava against LazyO playing as the Saka. And this is one of the steppe battles that we've been fighting recently, ever since the Saka have been introduced as a faction into EB Online, or completed I should say. These battles have become a lot more commonplace. Anyway, let me just breeze through my army real quickly. We both took pretty heavy steppe armies. I have 2 units of the Shivatiri Zurbaran, the Parthian armored horse archers. I have 2 units of the Mardian archers anchoring each side. 2 units of the Parthian horse archers. 2 units of the Persian heavy archers. 3 units of Pentadopoi, Phalangitai, levy phalanxes, 2 units of East Coast levies, who are very rarely used, but I actually saw a use for in this battle. A unit of the bodyguard cavalry, 2 units of Hyrcanian hillmen, who are a very high morale, high accuracy javelin unit. 2 units of the Dahai noble cavalry. And 2 units of the Dahai riders. My opponent LazyO has taken 4 units of Saka horse archers, 2 on each side, 4 units of the Alan nobles, again 2 on each side, 4 units of Saka foot archers, 4 units of the Saka spearmen, 2 units of the Saka heavy cavalry, who are not very heavy at all, but they're very good lancers, and 2 units of the Saka bodyguard cavalry, or the Saka cataphracts, as we like to call them. Okay, so now, this battle is actually from the point of view of LazyO because I forgot to save the replay. But what I tried to do was use heavy archers to help counter his foot archers, who are superior to mine, and also use cataphract archers as a screen against these foot archers and horse archers. Sort of soak up some arrows and cause a lot of damage before he can hit my lighter armored units. That's the same reason I chose Dahai nobles, because you can see their horse is slightly barded in the front. They have a decent armor rating as well, so that this allows them to wither incoming missile fire much easier than, of course, light horse archers like these guys, or even some of the lighter armored nobles like the Alans, who are great for charges and they have very good stamina, but they don't really do all that much better than light horse archers in missile duels. In fact, they actually fare worse because of their inferior numbers. So anyway, you can see my goal here. Use the heavily armored cataphract archers in front, the more lightly armored foot archers behind, and then I'll bring up the very light armored horse archers in the back. And the Parthians have slightly inferior range, but also inferior damage to the Saka, because the Saka use a higher quality compound bow. Anyway, they carry a few more arrows to make up for this, but that only matters in very long missile duels. It doesn't really matter towards the beginning all that much, so that's why I'm using the heavier cavalry in front. And you can see the same over here. I'm whittling down these horse archers really quickly. I have 4 units of horse archers firing on 2, a unit of foot archers, and 2 units of foot archers firing on 2 units of horse archers. And this forces him to bring over those Alan nobles that were on his right flank over to this flank. I'm also doing a pretty good job on his foot archers by using the cataphract archers and my foot archers. He's whittled mine down very much as well. But I really just wanted to make it so that his foot archers wouldn't be able to really significantly damage my light infantry, who I plan on swarming his heavy cavalry with, since I didn't bring quite as much heavy cavalry as I would have liked to. Anyway, things are sort of going my way. I'm going to fast forward a tiny bit here. Okay, so now my Dahai nobles have advanced, and we've shot up and or killed all of his light horse archers on this flank, and his foot archers have really been decreased as well. So now I move into range of his ally nobles. I'm going to fire on them. Now the Dahai riders won't do very well against them, that's why I kept them back a little more, and I'm exposing my noble cavalry instead. Noble cavalry are more valuable, but they'll also resist the arrows better. And I sort of want to get into a missile duel with these guys since they're not quite so heavily armored. Alright, we'll fast forward another bit in just a second, but you can see I've completely destroyed these horse archers on this flank as well. Really at the cost of just one unit of the horse archers of my own. And these foot archers, of course. But I was also contending with these foot archers that he had. So I've, in effect, more or less won the missile duel. Fast forward a bit. Okay, so now he's been compelled to bring his Saka spearmen into close formation. We're both running low on arrows at this point of the battle. But you can see I still have enough. Now he's bringing his ally nobles up. He's trying to catch me off guard here with the charge while he's moving his other flank. But he doesn't get his spears out, so he charges in with the bows out. And both our units are in loose formation, so that won't matter that much. His men are significantly decreased, and one of them routs. I bring in this unit of Dahai riders here to help out, rout this unit. And he brings in his 2 units of ally nobles, who are mostly full at this point, to help. So I swing the Dahai riders up to counter them, hoping rightfully, that I would kill those ally nobles quickly. So now I can bring my Dahai nobles in to help these poor Dahai riders out in the back, which I do. Meanwhile, over on this flank, he's moving his heavy cavalry while we're moving around over here. But I kept my cataphracts archers on skirmish mode so that they wouldn't get caught off guard while I wasn't paying attention. So now we've got a little bit of a scrum over here between the Dahai riders, the Dahai nobles, and the ally nobles. I have superior numbers at this point. I also managed to get a little sandwich in, but then he gets one in as well. So this is really sort of in doubt at this point. Either side could win. I've caused more damage to this flank than he has, but if he wins this flank, that's really going to hurt. But I bring my general over. You can see my horse archers just sort of bothering the lightly armored Saka heavy cavalry. I don't know why they're called Saka heavy cavalry. Light horse archers can bother them, but they can. They actually kill 15 or so of them. Otherwise, just keep them moving. Now he's bringing his cataphracts up. The addition of my general over here has turned the tide in my favor, so that he runs these guys off. I'll eventually hunt them down, more or less, but I've won that flank. And I begin to advance my phalangites, while just sort of stalling for time over here with my light infantry. You can see me starting to form a wall. Now I try to get my phalangites into it to cut off his infantry here, but I'm not quick enough. He manages to peel 2 units off, and that becomes trouble for me later on. Anyway, you can see what's happening. I'm moving my East Coast levies. I really just wanted to keep his cataphracts moving, but this is sort of a mistake, because he runs his cataphracts back, and now he has infantry in behind me. My guys aren't supported properly, and he has Saka heavy cavalry here lined up for a charge, which he is going to execute on these East Coast levies. And you can see their numbers really decrease quickly, and they break. He doesn't even need the cataphracts to come in. So I pull this unit out as quickly as I can. I don't want to lose them as well. And I actually decided to send in my horse archers, my armored cataphract archers here, while hoping to use these guys as a screen. It works against that unit, but this unit slips in, and that's going to cause a lot of damage to my guys. There's going to be a big charge here. I think it almost actually routs one of these units. It knocks them down to 30 men really quickly. The other one's down to 40. And then here come the 2 Saka heavy cavalry in. And that might actually break that one unit. No, he pulls his horse archers back. And I think the Saka heavy cavalry didn't get their lances down or something. But I managed to pull my phalangites out of phalanx mode, and I bring my Hyrcanian helmet in to hit his infantry in the back. And meanwhile, my East Coast levies are still over here harassing his bodyguard cavalry. I've also engaged these 2 phalangite units against these Saka heavy spearmen. And you can see that I've routed off all the Alan nobles, more or less over there, with the exception of a couple units. And what's a video of mine without a train? Here one comes right now. And here I wasn't paying attention and I didn't notice, and he gets in a really good charge with his cataphracts against my cataphracts. And that's going to rout one of my units and really severely diminish the rest of them. So now he has a significant advantage in armored cavalry at this point. But I have a really overwhelming advantage in infantry. This is made worse by the fact that his remaining spearmen over here get swarmed by my horse archers, and some of them break. So that causes a lot of issues for him. Meanwhile, my phalangites are just sort of swarming around. And Hyrcanian helmet are very light, but if you can keep them moving and with their good stamina, they can sort of just run around the cataphracts, which are very tired out. Now he's making a beeline. I actually got my Dahai nobles in over here and charged into the rear of his Saka spearmen. But Saka spearmen have surprisingly good morale, and they resist the charge. And here gets a really good charge with his cataphracts. And my Panta d'Apui Phalangikai somehow just managed to resist it. And the swarming in of my horse archers probably just saves them, just barely, from being slaughtered. They're both shaken, but also my general's coming a little closer to the battle now, so that's going to help their morale a bit. He tries to get in another charge over here. It is successful. But again, my general's creeping in, so that's going to help bolster the morale of my men, even though I'm very close to breaking on several occasions here. And since he's unsuccessful here, he really should have pulled these guys out quicker, but he was a little slow about it. I managed to get a couple javelin volleys from my Hyrcanian helmet. It's nothing devastating, but it does kill off a couple of these guys. And here come my bodyguard cavalry and smash into the rear of his Saka spearmen. And he really needs these guys in the fight to hold off my infantry. And you can see his cataphracts are just sort of getting swarmed by phalangites out of guard mode, just running around. One of our players, ASM, likened Panta d'Apui Phalangitai to a Zerg swarm. I can sort of see that, but we changed their stats a little, so that they're not quite as effective like that. Here he gets another good charge in, but I think my overwhelming numbers help maintain the morale of my men, and I get in a charge on his guys here. And his Saka spearmen, even though Saka spearmen are surprisingly resilient, you can see, they're eventually going to break. And in fact, you can see them running now. And his other cataphract unit also breaks. So that really leaves him with the one cataphract unit over there. And at this point, the battle is a foregone conclusion. And meanwhile, I still have plenty of infantry swarming after him. So I think he's just going to, I'll fast forward here, he's just going to turn around eventually and engage. And after a short little scrum, my men will eventually defeat his and end the battle. Alright, there it is. Alright, so good battle to LazyO. It was a close fought match, and I really do enjoy these steppe battles. They are quite a bit of fun. I really used to not like playing as cavalry heavy factions as much as I like the infantry heavy factions, like the Gauls. But I don't know, something about the new steppe battles is appealing to me. I think because we reduced the amount of arrows that foot archers can carry, so the missile duels between foot archers don't take 20 minutes anymore. They only take about 5 to 6, which is much more manageable and doesn't seem like such an utter waste of time. Okay, so here you can see it was LazyO's saved video. I forgot to save it. So it says clear defeat. I deployed almost 200 more men than he did because of my superior number of infantry. And here's that train again. I also had 300 more kills. You can see, at least with his units, you won't be able to see mine, that his cataphracts did the majority of the damage. He was really unable to do much with his island nobles. These two units did decent, but these did not really do that well. And his Saka heavy cavalry, probably, he left them in melee a little too much. They basically killed as many as they took, which is not acceptable for charge cavalry. You need to get a lot of kills with them. Especially because he was using his infantry basically just as basically units to hold my guys in place. You need to use those charge cavalry to get lots of kills. Anyway, it was a good game. Steppe battles are a lot more interesting and fun now, and I hope you can see sort of the differences between steppe battles and the more traditional infantry battles that tend to dominate EB Online. Alright, thanks for watching.